So this video is for anyone that has done overseedings or they've done total renovations to their cool season lawns this fall. Once that process is completed, you get to looking at your lawn, you're happy that all of the grass is starting to come up, everything is working in the right direction. So when you get to walking your lawn, you may bump into something like this, bare spots. You may see a bare spot here, you may see a bare spot there. And what's one of the first things that come to mind? Throwing down more seed. So here's the question. Should you throw down more grass seed or should you just leave it alone? Let's talk about it. If you have bare spots in your lawn like you see in this particular lawn, and those bare spots are an inch and a half, maybe even 2 inches wide, and you're throwing down some tall fescue or some Kentucky bluegrass, you don't need to put more grass seed in those particular areas. Here's the reason why. Kentucky bluegrass is going to spread. So the only thing that you need to do is continue to keep cutting your grass, continue to keep fertilizing your grass, and the Kentucky bluegrass will spread into those areas. So let's just say that you don't have Kentucky bluegrass. Let's say you have a tall fescue lawn and that's all you have on your lawn. You see this lawn here? This is the tall fescue lawn. It's dormant. It needs water, but I'm gonna grab one grass blade. Let's go. Now look at this. You see this? This is one plant and it has 1, 2, 3 grass blades that is coming off of this one plant. This is what I'm talking about. What this one plant is doing is it's spreading its leaves and it's filling up space. That's why you don't want to get out there and start throwing down more grass seed just because you see some bare spots. This one plant is putting off 3 leaves. Now there's going to be some other plants that may put off a little bit more, but this is a prime example. This is one seed, just one. Now let me show you another one. Now this particular grass blade right here is a more mature plant. This grass blade has been in this lawn for a couple of years now. As you can tell, the leaves are a little bit wide. Now look at all of the grass leaves that is coming off of this one particular plant. It's a whole bunch of them, right? This is another prime example of why you don't need to throw down more grass seed. Now I know some people are going to sit up there and say, now wait a minute, Polo, you cut your grass high anyway. You cut your grass at 4 inches. Sometimes you cutting it at 4 1/4. It's supposed to look like that when you're cutting it high. What about if I'm cutting my grass really low? Well, let me show you an example. Now my brother Cam from the We Working team has one particular spot at his home where he cuts his grass at 1 inch. Yes, people, he's cutting his tall fescue with a reel mower at 1 inch. Look at that. Look at that lawn right there. Look at all that short goodness right there. Talking about low cut society. As you can see, that particular part in his lawn, it's thick, it's tall fescue, and it is tillering off. So you can't give any more excuses. I cut my grass high, it tillers off. He's cutting his grass at 1 inch and it's still doing the same exact thing. People, have patience, don't panic. If you see some bare spots in your lawn that are not that big, don't throw down any more grass seed. Trust the process. The Kentucky bluegrass is going to spread and that tall fescue is going to throw off a bunch of leaves off of one particular grass blade. Now the seed that I put down in this particular lawn, this is peat seed from GCI Turf. The seed that is in this bag is the Mountain View seed that is lateral spread. So as far as these little bare spots that is in this lawn, I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm going to trust the process, and I know that once this grass grows, once I begin to cut it, it's going to start tillering off even more, and it's going to start filling in those gaps. So if you have gaps that looks like this, or you have gaps that look like that, and you have tall fescue or Kentucky bluegrass in your lawn, don't even worry about throwing down any more seed. The issue that you're going to end up having in the future is those grass blades are going to start competing with each other. That's not going to really have any good type of airflow, and what's going to eventually end up happening is it's going to become a victim of a fungus, and you don't want that to happen. So don't throw down extra grass seed when you really don't need it at all. But if you have a few little gaps, just leave it alone. Well, I got to go ahead and get out of here. As you can see, it's getting dark. I thank you all for tuning in. I thank you all for your support. Y'all have a blessed one, and I'll see y'all in the next one.